Working overtime is a topic that nearly every working adult has come in contact with, while simultaneously being a topic that doesn't often get discussed. This has led to a slightly taboo perception about talking about overtime, be it with colleagues or with management, and often there is a lack of policy to govern this gray area. In this video, we'll discuss tips on understanding when to work overtime, how to make the most of it, as well as when to call it quits. Tip number 1. Don't overdo it. While working overtime now and then may be considered loyal to the job and hardworking, you don't want to make it a habit. Though this does vary from culture to culture, think Japanese culture where it's proper to arrive before and leave after your boss, consistently working more than 8 hours can lead to a perception that you aren't able to cope with the amount of tasks at hand. It can bring into question your professional competence, as well as can perpetuate the perception that you have a subpar time management skill. On the other hand, working overtime every once in a while to help the team meet a big deadline or to cope with a periodically heavier workload can be considered being a team player. Careful not to do too much. A study we conducted internally at Desktime, analyzing over 65,000 employees, found that for each hour of overtime worked led to a 19% decrease in productivity. So for the sake of getting things done, just be honest with yourself and go home. The rest will do you good more than unpredictably trying to squeeze out some more work. The general rule of thumb here is work overtime for specific and limited cases, but avoid making it a regular aspect of your workday. Tip number 2, make sure you're acknowledged. You can only reap the aforementioned benefits of working overtime if someone notices the extra work you're putting in. Otherwise, you're just burning the midnight oil for the benefit and often the detriment of yourself. And while that may sometimes be necessary to get the maximum benefit, as well as in some countries the legal overtime pay, it's important for this time to be logged. In fact, since 2007, the amount of work-hour lawsuits has increased by 450%. Logging your overtime is crucial when in the court of law, where you need to prove your time put in. That can be done in a variety of ways, sending out a time-stamped email or a Slack message, uploading your finished work to your time-stamped project management tool that your company uses, or alternatively, this can all be skipped if your company uses time tracking software that logs time automatically and prepares reports for managers. It would also eliminate the need for any disputes about working hours, which is a benefit both to you and to your company. Tip number 3, get work done. If you do choose to work overtime, make sure that you're actually getting work done, rather than idly passing time. Not only can this end up biting you back, but it's also a terrible way to live. You lose time you could be spending pursuing fulfilling activities, and you don't even get the fulfillment of having produced something of value. Stay in the office if it's to finish a task that needs to be done. Another reason for staying late could be that you feel more productive during afternoons, for example, rather than in the mornings. One study of British university students found that approximately 40% of the population are more productive at night. If this is the case for you, then rather than staying at work over hours and make use of your productive time, it might be worth talking to your manager about shifting your work hours to fall into your productive time slot. You would be surprised at how open they might be to accommodating your needs in the name of company productivity. That might mean shifting from a 9-to-5 workday to an 11-to-7 workday. It doesn't have to be drastic, but this could have a significant impact on your well-being and work-related output. Studies have shown that employees at their peak productivity naturally feel happier, more creative, and excited to complete their task. Give this video a like if you found these 3 tips useful. If you have any other suggestions for working overtime, leave them in the comments below and share them with others.